Welcome back to Nucleus NEET Academy. I am Kiran Kumar, your biology NEET faculty. Students, today we are going to start part 2 video of the chapter Biomolecules. So first of all, we are going to start with the topic cellular pool. What is cellular pool? You can take any type of living cell. It may be a prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell. Inside the cell, students, what you find? You can find thousands of molecules. You can find biomolecules, and also you can find thousands of mineral ions inside the cell. So what is cellular pool? The collection of biomolecules and ions present in a cell is called cellular pool. Understood? Next. In chemistry point of view, you can classify the molecules into two types, organic molecules and inorganic molecules. So molecules can be classified into two types according to chemistry, organic molecules and inorganic molecules. What is organic molecule according to chemistry? According to chemistry, an organic molecule will be a molecule which is having the 4 atoms in their structure, namely carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. If these 4 atoms are present in the structure of the molecule, then that molecule will be considered as organic molecule. And organic molecules will also have carbon-hydrogen bonds. Carbon-hydrogen bonds will be also present. Okay. Then what are inorganic molecules? In inorganic molecules, they does not have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and obviously there will be no carbon hydrogen bonds. There will be no carbon hydrogen bonds. Okay. Examples of inorganic molecules are mineral salts such as sodium chloride, potassium chloride, calcium carbonate, and also water. Understood, students? Now, what are examples of organic molecules? Proteins, your carbohydrates, your fats and nucleic acids. All these molecules which I have mentioned on the board, all these molecules have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen in their structures. That's why they will be considered as organic molecules. And whereas mineral salts such as calcium carbonate, sodium chloride, they does not have the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen in their structure, and there will be no carbon hydrogen bonds. They will be considered as inorganic molecules. And even in water molecule also, you don't find these characters. Understood, students? Now, look here. If you observe the Earth's crust, imagine this is the Earth. This is the Earth. This is the North Pole, and this is the South Pole, and this is the equator. So what is the outermost layer of Earth called? The outermost layer of the Earth is called as crust. It is called crust. So the outermost layer present on the surface of the Earth is called as crust. In the crust, you can find different types of minerals available. Okay. So scientists have found that all the elements present in Earth's crust are also present in living tissues of living organisms. So whatever elements you find in the outer layer of the Earth called as crust, those elements are also present in the living tissues of living organisms. Okay. And scientists also found one more fact, that living organisms have more amount of carbon, hydrogen when compared to Earth's crust. So living organisms have more amount of these two elements, carbon, hydrogen, when compared to the amount of carbon, hydrogen in the Earth's crust. Okay. And what is the most abundant chemical in the living organisms? It is water. Water is the most abundant chemical in all the living organisms. About 90%, 70 to 90% of body is made up of water, students. Okay. So here in NCERT textbook, they have given beautiful tabular columns. Many questions will be asked in the NEET examination. Let us see. The first tabular column, comparison of elements. The elements which are present in Earth's crust and the elements which are present in the human body. We are going to compare these two types of elements which are present in Earth's crust and the elements which are present in the human body. So first, hydrogen. Hydrogen in Earth's crust there will be only 0.14%. Okay, but if you see a human body, in the human body the percentage of hydrogen will be 0.5%. So where hydrogen is present in more percentage, is it in Earth's crust or human body? Look here, this is only 0.14, but here it is 0.5, which is a higher number here. 0.5 is higher number, it is large number when compared to 0.14. So obviously in human body there is more amount of hydrogen when compared to Earth's crust. Next, what about carbon? Carbon is only 0.03% in the Earth's crust, but in human body there is 18.5% carbon inside the human body. It is another example to say that hydrogen and carbon are present at higher amounts in the living organisms. You can see here, living organisms have more amount of carbon hydrogen. So this is the evidence to say that carbon and hydrogen is present in more percentages in the body of living organisms when compared to Earth's crust. Next, oxygen. If you look at oxygen, look here students, 46.6% is present in the Earth's crust. In human body it is 65% of oxygen is present. Next, nitrogen is very little in the Earth's crust, but in human body it is 3.3%. Silicon in Earth's crust is 27.7%. In human body silicon is negligible. So from these values questions will be asked in the NEET examination. Okay, so mostly what type of question will be asked? So what is the percentage of carbon in human body? 18.5%. This is the most expected question. Another question, what is the percentage of hydrogen in human body? 0.5%. So these are the two important questions which can be asked in the NEET examination. Next, average composition of cells. If you take a cell and if you measure the cellular mass, every component will have certain percentage of cellular mass. If you take water component of a cell, inside the cell whatever water molecules are present inside the cell, the water percentage will be 70 to 90% of total cellular mass. If you take the entire mass of the cell, in the total cellular mass, water will have the highest percentage. What is that? 70 to 90% will be water. Okay, so next to water, second component is protein, which is a biomolecule and also an organic molecule. Its percentage is 10 to 15% of total cellular mass. Next goes to nucleic acids. Nucleic acids have 5 to 7% of total cellular mass. Next is carbohydrates, 3%, lipids 2%, and ions only 1%. So students, here I have represented the table in descending order. Question will be asked in the NEET examination. What is the descending order of different components present in the cell according to their total cellular mass? Descending order. First is water, next is protein, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, lipids, and ions. The same question can be asked in another manner. What is the ascending order of the percentage of different components in the cells? Ascending order, least is ions, next lipids, carbohydrates, nucleic acids, proteins, and water. I will tell you a mnemonic to remember this. Okay, so the nice mnemonic to remember is HP, HPN, CLI, HPN, CLI, HPN, CLI. So this is the descending order, HPN, CLI. Hydrogen, water, protein, nucleic acid, carbohydrate, lipid, ion. HPN CLI. Note down this, students. Students, look here. Scientists have found that the plant body will have 17 different types of elements like calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, etc., etc. And animals will have about 24 different types of elements in their body. Okay. So next, what are metabolites? What are metabolites? If you take a living cell, in the cytoplasm, there will be thousands of chemical reactions which will be going on. They are called as metabolic reactions. What are those reactions? My dear students, metabolic reactions. So many reactions will be taking place simultaneously. So A molecule will be converted into B molecule. B molecule will react with the C molecule and give rise to D molecule. Again, D molecule will give rise to A molecule. So like this, plenty of reactions will be taking place simultaneously inside the cell. So we call those reactions as metabolic reactions. During those metabolic reactions, special type of molecules will be produced inside the cell. They are called metabolites. They are called as metabolites. What are metabolites, children? They are the organic biomolecules synthesized during cellular metabolism. So during the process called cellular metabolism, where several thousands of reactions are taking place, during that process, some special compounds, biomolecules will be synthesized. We are calling those compounds as metabolites. Okay. Examples of metabolites like amino acids, glucose, fructose, sucrose, nucleosides, nucleotides. Like this, you can say n number of examples. Now look here. We can classify the metabolites which are produced inside the cell into two types. What are those? Primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. Now let's see what are primary metabolites. Primary metabolites. Primary metabolites are those molecules which are products formed during normal metabolism. So whenever normal metabolic reactions are happening inside the cell, at that time, whatever molecules that are synthesized inside the cell, they are called as primary metabolites, and they are required for normal growth and reproduction of the living organisms. They are essential for normal growth and reproduction. Okay, and they have identifiable functions. We can also identify the functions of those biomolecules individually. Examples of primary metabolites are amino acids, which are building blocks of proteins. Nucleotides, they are present in the nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. Sugars, these are the molecules which are present in starch, cellulose, this type of polysaccharides, and fats which are present in oils, and also peptides. These are small proteins. When proteins are chopped, then you get small units called as peptides. Okay, so all these are considered as primary metabolites. Okay, each and every molecule will have a specific identifiable function, and they will be directly participating in growth and reproduction of living organisms. Next, what are secondary metabolites? Look here. They are the products formed during changed metabolic reactions. And they are not required for growth and reproduction. They does not have any direct role in growth and reproduction of living organisms. There are plenty of secondary metabolites which we can see in the living cells. So look here, students, some of the examples given in NCERT book. These are the metabolites, secondary metabolites produced in plants. First is pigments. Pigments are colored molecules. They impart color. Okay. Carotenoids. These are the photosynthetic pigments that are present in plastids of plant cells. Anthocyanin is non-photosynthetic pigment which will impart color to the plants. Okay. Next, alkaloids. Alkaloids are compounds such as morphine and codeine. They are produced by a plant called poppy plant. Okay, morphine, it is used as anesthetic. In olden days, the morphine, it was used as anesthetic. That means to minimize the pain during the surgery. Okay, nowadays some people they abuse this morphine. Okay, next is terpenoids. Terpenoids, examples monoterpenes, diterpenes, these are secondary metabolites. Essential oils, example lemongrass oil, it produces a pleasant smell. Okay, next toxin. Toxin is a poisonous compound. Example of toxins, abrin and ricin, they are produced by plants. They are poisonous compounds. Lectin. Example of lectin is concanavalin A. Concanavalin A. Next is drugs. These are also secondary metabolites. Example vinblastine and curcumin. So these are the drugs. Polymers. Polymers are giant molecules, large molecules with high molecular weight. Example, rubber. It is obtained from rubber tree. Gums, trees like bubble tree and drumstick tree, neem tree, they will produce a sticky substance called gum. This gum is also a polymer, which is a large molecule. Cellulose. Cellulose is obviously the cell wall material in the plants, which is a polymer, a giant molecule. So these are all the list of secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites. These chemical compounds are not going to directly participate in reproduction or growth of the organisms, and they are formed during changed metabolic reactions in the living cells. Okay, students, understood? Copy down. Students, now let us see some of the applications of secondary metabolites. Morphine. Morphine is obtained from poppy plant. Morphine is used to treat pain mainly in the patients who are undergoing surgery. Okay. Codeine. Codeine is also obtained from poppy plant. It is a secondary metabolite. It is used to relieve pain. This compound mainly used as ingredient in cough syrup. Okay. Terpenes, they are pleasant smelling substances used in perfumes. Lemongrass oil, another pleasant smelling substance. It is produced by lemongrass plant. It is used in aromatherapy. Abrin, it is a natural poison. Ricin, it is a toxic protein which is obtained from castor seeds. Concanavalin A, it is used for characterizing glycoproteins. Vinblastine, it is used in anti-cancer drugs. Curcumin, it is used as antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. Curcumin is present in turmeric. Okay, so these are some of the uses of secondary metabolites. Copy down, students.